Not every athlete who wins is a star. Some dominate the game, others dominate the spotlight. Today, we're breaking down what actually makes someone a sports star, the factors that separate the stat leaders from the headline stealers. Hard work and talent might get you on the field, but stardom gets you on the Yada Yada podcast, baby. All right, we're back.
I like it. We're taking a special guest of people we talk about today. They're going to be on a few episodes later on because they're stars.
That's right. All
this
right,
is episode 9. Yes?
This is episode 9. Yeah, I hope you watched episode 8, everybody.
Yeah.
We had a good time talking about music with a special guest, with Avery. It kind of got the tip of the iceberg as far as our musical taste goes, but it was fun, and thanks for everybody for leaving comments. Speaking of leaving comments, Ty, do you have a little something?
So there was a couple of comments on the old Spotify network. Like I said, I don't know how to do it on Apple, so if you listen on Apple, sorry about you. But I do have a few comments. First one I want to shout out, Blake Bryant, which is our cousin, commented that it shows that we live in an incredible era for being able to, if you didn't listen to episode 8, you need to go back and listen, because Books, basically every single album that he talked about was about 30 years before we were both born.
Just lived in the past.
Yeah, and so Blake pointed out that it's incredible that we have access to that music, and we can go and listen to that music even after these guys aren't recording music anymore. Some of them aren't even alive anymore. So it's pretty cool that we can go back and listen to that. And then BRB, which I'm assuming is our other cousin, he posted his top 10. I'm just going to shout out some... maybe some surprises that I thought I didn't think this would be in people's top 10. Adele and her album 21 was his number 6.
Is that the one with like Rolling in the Deep and other stuff like that?
Not a big Adele listener, but I can look that up real quick.
I bet it is.
Adele 21 album. Let's check it out. One of the most successful and critically acclaimed records of the 21st century. Okay, well, I
guess we're missing out.
Yeah. Rolling in the Deep, that would be number 1. So it's that album, if that helps.
Gotcha. Rumor has it, Set Fire to the Rain. Yeah, those are all...
Someone Like You.
Those are all bangers from the...
Yep,
from
I can understand.
Good year.
Yeah, what a great time. Go Mavs. And then old Steve, Steve, my old pops. Speaking of, happy Father's Day, even though it's about 3 days after that.
Hey,
Shout out to all the dads out there. Yep.
Yeah, thanks. My dad was on a cruise, so he just left me for Father's Day. I didn't get to see him.
Get you some of that. So my dad, he, as you probably figured out, listeners, from episode 8, I don't listen to a whole lot of music or have a whole lot of music diversity. My dad is the same way. That's a reason why I'm the way I am. But he said, I don't know my albums, but here are some of his artists that he listed. Okay. He had Elton John, Journey, John Denver, the Eagles. Like those are some big name ones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Sounds
ask,
a little bit like my list.
Yeah. But he's from that era. You're not, so that makes it a little more reasonable.
Right.
I'm going to ask, have you ever heard of the Mannheim Steamroller?
No, I have not.
Yeah, me either. No idea.
Mannheim Steamroller. Okay.
But that was one of his, top 10 artists. He had a little country on there with Kenny Rogers. Can't go wrong with a little Kenny.
Kenny Rogers.
Yep. Have you ever heard of the Statler brothers?
I sure have.
There you go.
Shoot, what's that song they sing? It's actually in Pulp Fiction, with Bruce Willis is driving his car around.
So that's how you know it.
I think it's "Flowers on the Wall." Flowers on the
Wall.
That's
Okay.
the one. Yep.
Well, there you go. If that's wrong,
a good one.
he'll call us out. I have no doubt.
I'm
about
sure
that.
he will. We got plenty of fact checkers.
Yeah. So speaking of fact checkers, we're starting a new segment of the Yada Yada podcast, calling "Where We Went Wrong." And so in episode, what episode was that? 7 maybe, when we talked about video games. I think if you didn't listen to episode 7, go back and listen to that. Apparently during this episode, one of my top 5 video games that I would take with me to a desert island was Fortnite. And I shouted out Fortnite, and I said PUBG got their idea from Fortnite, and it came out after Fortnite. That was wrong. That didn't happen.
I bet you just feel like an idiot then, don't you?
Yeah, I'm stupid. I don't know my video game history, and so I had to go to ChatGPT to double check my fact checker.
Okay.
So shout out to once again another commentator or commenter, Blake. Blake called me out, and he did say that PUBG came out before Fortnite, and so of course I had to go to ChatGPT and double check that fact. And he was correct. PUBG beat Fortnite to the market by 4 months, launching its early access March 2017, while Fortnite's Battle Royale mode, the mode that most people associate with the game, that dropped in late September of 2017. So
Okay.
PUBG did come out before Fortnite. So don't go telling people I heard on the Yada Yada podcast, so it's got to be true, because it's not.
Right.
So that's
We're all about
we're
fact checking here. On the
I was
Audio
wrong.
Podcast.
I was wrong. I'm an idiot. And so, like I said, this is going to be a new segment. So if you want to call us out and tell us we're wrong, please do, because this is by no means a factual podcast all the time. And we don't have a producer. So we're taking applications for people who want to fact check, or you can just leave it in the comments, because that works as well.
Or if you want to produce for us, just reach out,
Yeah, reach out. It's strictly voluntary.
You will not get paid.
No, there will be no monetary involvement whatsoever. But that's a good thing. Then you don't have like a contract. You can just leave whenever you want. So
Exactly.
probably won't take you long to want to leave. But so some things going on around the world. We're talking today. We're gonna hit on movie stars a little later on, but our main topic is going to be sports stars. What is a sports star? And so we're going to kind of talk about, stars from different professional organizations and things like that, but kind of going on in the sports world right now. Today, we're recording this today, and what is today? The 18th, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, because tomorrow's Juneteenth.
Shout out.
Happy Juneteenth to all you
Happy Juneteenth.
people that celebrate. The Lakers sold today. The Los Angeles Lakers,
The Los Angeles
probably
Lakers.
the most known franchise in NBA talks or NBA history, sold today. I want you to guess how much this organization sold for.
It's gotta be a B.
So
Gotta be-
I'll give you some like some, I don't know, context clues, I guess. Like other organizations have sold for this. Okay.
Okay.
And you can kind of figure out, okay, well maybe it was more than them, but less than them. Hang on, let me find it.
Because I was gonna guess it's gotta be, I don't know. Is it hundreds of billions of dollars? Because that sounds insane.
That's a lot of money. No,
That
it's
is a
not
lot
near
of
that
money.
much. Yeah.
How about
So
$5
let me-
billion dollars?
So it's more than 5 billion.
So it sold for more than Star Wars. Star Wars sold for $4 billion.
Okay. Fact check me there, because there's no way I'm going to know that. Sold sports organizations. Highest bidder. Like, I think like maybe the Golden State, well, the Mavs, I mean, Mark Cuban sold his share for however much not too long ago. So last 2 Aprils ago, April 2023, the Washington Commanders, they sold for $6 billion, $6.05 billion. Okay.
That's a bit.
In 2023,
Washington Commanders. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So if they sold for $6 billion, yeah.
Right.
Mark Cuban sold his majority stake for $3.5 billion. So he didn't sell the whole team, but he sold his stake. So that's 3.5. Okay. And then not last March, this March, I guess, the Boston Celtics, they sold for $6.1 billion. So they barely beat the Washington Commanders.
More than I realized. That is crazy.
Yeah, we're not in this kind of world where we're buying franchises. So
yeah, I wonder if that happens like with the Commanders almost beating the Celtics. Is that like a disparity between who watches? Because it's not like Washington's. I mean, I didn't think it was a huge market.
I wouldn't think
so. I wonder
so.
if it's a
No
disparity between like if people watch more NFL than they watch NBA. Which I'm sure is
Possibly.
true because there's only barely how many games in an NFL season?
18 regular season
18,
now.
Yeah, and there's 82 in NBA or whatever it is.
Right.
So,
and I think possibly the Commanders was an entire sale.
Oh, okay.
And the Celtics might have been like a majority stake. So
okay.
Back to our guest, the Jeannie Buss, who the Buss family is the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah. Did you watch Winning Time? Shout out real quick.
I thought you might bring that up, but no, I did not.
It's a great show. It should have been on my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
On our TV list because it was great. It was a good show. You check it out.
What is that? HBO Max?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to go check that out. So Jeannie Buss sold her 66% majority stake today.
Okay.
So that 66%, how much do you think that was worth? More than $5 billion.
Was it in the neighborhood of 12 billion?
Close. It was $10 billion.
$10 billion. That's a nice
somebody
day at the
has
office.
somebody has $10 billion and they're like, you know what? I'm going to buy 66% of the Los Angeles Lakers today.
Was it a well-known anybody, or is it just
the person that bought it, Mark Walter. Ever heard of Mark Walter?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's not a star.
Basic name. Yeah.
Yeah. CEO and chairman of TWG Global and current non-controlling stakeholder in the team. So he already had a little bit of stakes in there. So he bought more. He does have ownership stakes in the Dodgers, which is also obviously a Los Angeles team, and the Sparks, which is obviously a Los Angeles WNBA team.
So maybe not monopoly on pro LA teams.
Yeah, so I guess he the Lakers maybe were the final boss of Los Angeles sports teams.
Wow.
And then he also has involvement in the Chelsea FC, which I think that's soccer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
So anyway,
I think that's
he spent $10 million today.
Is that a European team? I think so.
Maybe. I don't even know. Fact check us.
Yeah, $10 billion. Wow.
Yeah. So Jeannie Buss is still she's still the governor and director of basketball stuff for the Lakers. But she no longer has a majority stake in the Lakers, which 46 years the Buss family has had a majority stake.
Wow.
Starting with Jerry Buss in 1979. So they've been around the block when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers. They've seen some pretty good basketball in their time as majority holders. So $10 billion. Other stuff going on in the NBA. The finals are going on, and the Thunder are up 3-2 against the Indiana Pacers. I want to know how many games have you watched of the finals?
Absolutely zero.
Yeah, it's
I'll
not
just tell you
the
right now.
most. Yeah, it's not the most entertaining finals because of some of the stuff we're going to talk about later. I don't think there's any stars in this year's finals.
I don't think so either.
But I did notice, I have turned it on a few times, and I have watched, I'm not going to lie, I have watched quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
But I noticed in game 4, they were in Indiana, and you're not going to know this because you haven't watched, but on the front row, like almost at midcourt, there were 2 men dressed in full Dumb and Dumber suits. The orange and the blue suits. Yes, front row. And so,
That's hilarious.
The good thing about these 2 teams that are playing is they're very passionate about their team. So every fan, it's like old school NBA. Every fan is wearing the t-shirt. The entire arena is decked out in yellow because they were in Indiana for the Pacers.
Yeah.
And it's super loud and super chaotic, and it actually is pretty cool and good for the NBA, I think. But because everybody's decked out in yellow, you can obviously see these 2 guys in the front row in their orange and blue Dumb and Dumber suits.
There's
The
gotta be a
best part
story
about
behind
it. Oh yeah, the best part about it. Here's the punchline. The best part about this is they had basically like a giant chain necklace, like with the they had like the big clocks on the giant chains. Well, instead of a clock, one guy had Kendrick Perkins' face, and another guy had Stephen A. Smith's face. So they were saying, obviously they were acting like they're Dumb and Dumber. Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith.
They're just trolling. That's hilarious.
It was hilarious. Yeah, it was so funny. And every time down the floor, you could just see these dudes just standing up, and it just made it so much better to watch.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
And another good thing about the finals, the Indiana Pacers this year remind me of the 2011 Mavericks. Okay, and they have kind of a big name player in Tyrese Halliburton.
I was about to say it's not just because of Coach Rick Carlisle.
No, obviously that goes into it, and I was going to say that Rick Carlisle is their coach.
Yeah,
Jim Carrey lookalike. Tyrese Halliburton is kind of their big name player, and then they kind of have good. They have good, I guess, veterans. They have Pascal Siakam, who has won a championship. He's been around the league a while. They have Miles Turner, who's been around the league a while. And then they have really good role players. TJ McConnell is 2011 JJ Barea. He's this short little white dude that shouldn't be in the NBA, and he's just dominating, and he's super fast, and you can't stop him, and nobody knows why. So it's been kind of fun to watch that, just because I think these 2 teams is good for the NBA because they're not as typical NBA. They're not just drama and high stardom. It's 2 teams. It's not 2 players like Steph Curry versus LeBron.
Right.
So I think the NBA Finals actually has been good. But the Thunder are up 3-2. Game 6 is tomorrow night in Indiana. So if you want to watch, it'll be Doris Burke you're listening to. So if you want to mute your TV, I do not blame you one bit.
I wonder how have you checked into the ratings at all for this year for the finals? How they compare to previous years?
I looked into it at the start of the playoffs, and at the start of the playoffs, it had actually been one of like the highest rated or highest viewed playoffs in a while. And the games, I will say, the games were pretty good to start out the playoffs, and the NBA Finals has been good too. So it wouldn't surprise me if the ratings are somewhat normal.
Now, did you see Stephen A. Smith? Speaking of Stephen A., did you see him? Or I guess you deleted social media recently, huh? So you might not have seen it.
I am fasting from social media.
That's nice. I caught it on Sports Talk Radio a couple mornings ago. But apparently Stephen A. was just playing solitaire at one of the finals games, like on his phone by himself. He was just sitting there while the game was going on, just playing solitaire by himself.
So during summer, obviously, I don't get up as early. I can watch like morning talk shows and tune in. So I tuned in to First Take this morning, and immediately when I turned it on, Stephen A. Smith is just screaming at the camera and just rambling on about nonsense, and I immediately turned it. Like, I have no desire to listen to you whatsoever. So that's the NBA going on right now. Also going on in sports world, the Florida Panthers have gone back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. That's the NHL, in case you didn't know.
I was about to say, I'm glad you said Stanley Cup champions because I would have had no idea what league the Florida Panthers were in. No disrespect to Florida Panthers fans, but never heard of you. So
yeah, they're on quite a dynasty run right now.
Yeah, sounds like it. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, they've gone back to back, obviously, and that's their third straight appearance in the Stanley Cup. So they've been 3 years in a row and won the last two. So that's pretty impressive for a hockey team from Florida to win Stanley Cup champion.
No,
that's pretty good. So that kind of brings us into our main topic for today, for episode 9. What constitutes a sports star? Okay, now we're going to go back and forth and kind of talk about what we think a sports star is, and we're also going to list who we think those current sports stars are. Now, we're saying sports, not just NBA. So I've got multiple players from multiple leagues, different professional athletes around the world, the United States, around the world, that I'm gonna talk about. And I think I did my best, but I think I'm gonna do a good job of describing what these people have, and that's why they're a star compared to other people. It is a very short list, in my opinion. Just FYI, I'm gonna say that right off the top. It is a very short list.
Agree with that.
Yeah, and so I'll kind of jump right in and talk about the first thing. Obviously, you have to be really good at your sport. Your skill level has to be top 10, maybe even top 5, in the sport that you play in.
That's my number one as well. I have elite performance. So you have to dominate at the highest level. And this is kind of my only point where statistics do kind of have a play in it. The rest of them don't really have anything to do with stats. But this is the one where, like, elite performance, like, I take into account that, that kind of encompasses championships, MVPs, stats. Like, you consistently outplay your peers in whatever sport you're in. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's also my first point.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be good. Otherwise, we're not going to even know who you are in the first place. The second point, or the second reason behind being a star, I call it the Shaq factor.
Nice.
And what I mean by that is marketability / personality. I think you have to have a good sense of humor. I think you have to be talked about a lot, whether that's in a good way, a bad way, but people are talking about you, whether it's your play, whether it's your personality, whether it's the commercial you're in, whether it's whatever. If you're making appearances in movies, if you're making appearances in TV shows, like I said, commercials, you have lots of endorsements. You're seen a lot, and people hear your name a lot. And that has absolutely nothing to do with your ability to play the game that you're playing. But like you said, I mean, and to go into stardom, it's not just how good you are at basketball. Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion, is not a star because he doesn't have anything other than just his basketball ability. He made some appearances in some New Balance.
No aura.
Yeah, no aura whatsoever. He's a typical San Antonio Spur, and so he's not a star because of that. And there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion, because I would prefer, to be honest, a player like that over a drama-filled player. And so I think marketability and personality, the Shakhtar is a big thing.
Yeah, that's a good one. I also have marketability. Mine, instead of personality, mine was marketability and media presence. So, like, that goes, like you said, endorsements, commercials, viral moments that trend on social media, You know what I mean? Like you stop being an athlete and you kind of become a brand at some point.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so people, they want to watch you, but they also want to follow you. They want to wear your name on their back and on their shoes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's, yeah, marketability, media presence. That's also a point I have.
So you said another one in there with your marketability, but my third bullet is viral moments. Things that people talk about. Highlights, top 10 plays. I'm thinking if you're a basketball player, a poster. You just poster people over and over, or you break somebody's ankles. One-handed catches, lots of home runs. If you're a boxer, like you're KOing people every time you're in the ring. If you're a golfer, like you're hitting crazy birdies and crazy chip ins and hole in ones and all this stuff. Like you've got things that on social media people are talking about, because in this day and age, that's a big deal.
Right. Like at one point, like if you rewind to 2013, like Blake Griffin might have been, like if you would have asked me, like, do you want to go watch an NBA game? And I would have said, well, can we catch one where Blake Griffin's playing? Like
Yes.
he was so marketable. He had tons of and that's also a point of mine is signature moments. So like iconic plays and performances that kind of live in like highlight reels in fan memories and like the collective conscious, you know what I mean? And that's kind of the stuff of legend, So yeah,
And that goes,
signature moments are a big one.
yeah, signature moments. That kind of goes with like signature celebrations, I think too. Like Steph's night celebration, LeBron's like silence the crowd celebration. Like you got people in the NFL doing LeBron's celebration. That's how like transcendent LeBron is. I mean, things like that, viral moments, things that people want to copy, things that you 3-2, like you're doing it in your driveway. 3-2-1, you're trying to hit a buzzer beater and you're trying to act like one of these players. Those
Kobe.
are kind of the viral moments. Yeah, Kobe. Like you yell Kobe when you throw trash into a trash can.
Right.
And then my last one, you might have more, but my last one is they're recognized outside of their sport. So kind of what I like, obviously the LeBron celebration, that's kind of what I mean, but I'm also talking about people who don't watch sports, specifically the sport that player's playing. If
Casuals,
people don't watch that
you
sport,
might say.
yeah, casuals. People don't watch that sport, they still know who this player is. That to me is stardom. I don't watch the NBA, I still know who LeBron James is. I don't watch, football, I still know who Patrick Mahomes is. Those are key points into being a star, I think.
I completely agree with that. Like, so the question that we're asking again is what constitutes a sports star? And my quick answer to that would be an athlete whose performance and presence make them impossible to ignore. And so that goes to that point right there. And there's tons of stuff that we've already talked about that goes into that, like elite performance, signature moments, and marketability, but also broad recognition is kind of encompasses that too. Fans, media, casuals all know who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You sell jerseys, like we talked about earlier. You trend online. You get name dropped across the world. So that's definitely broad recognition across. National recognition, also global recognition. You know what I mean? If we're talking about the biggest sports stars in the world, I think we'd have to talk global recognition. You know what I mean?
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're walking through an airport and you recognize somebody, not because you've seen them on TV, but because you just know that person. Not because you know they play for the Los Angeles Lakers and they wear number 23 and all this stuff. No, you just know, oh, that's LeBron, just because he's talked about. You've seen him on commercials. You've seen him in TV shows. You've seen him in movies. He's on TV all the time. His name is dropped all the time.
Yep.
That's recognition. So let's go through. Let's just start with the NBA.
I also had one more point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mine. My last point is I think a superstar has to have some kind of compelling narrative. You know what I mean? Like, I think there has to be some kind of story around you that's created, whether that's you're chasing GOAT status in your sport, like LeBron, or you're defying odds as like an underdog, kind of like Steph Curry coming up. You know what I mean? Just tiny guy. All of a sudden he starts raining threes, and we're like, what the heck? But yeah, so defying odds, chasing greatness, Great rivalries can make superstars. Going back all the way to like Bird and Magic. You know what I mean? That
Mm-hmm.
that produces superstars. They all of a sudden they became the face of the league on the two most iconic, franchises in league history, and they
Yeah.
kind of built that up. So that works too. Just embracing the kind of narrative. Whether that's Kevin Durant embracing being a villain or LeBron embracing being a villain when he went to Miami. Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that turns you into a myth and not just that you don't see on the box scores. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that goes into, I mean, being talked about, marketability and the media. Like, you have to be a person that the media wants to talk about. And I think
Right.
that's what's hurting. Obviously, that's what's hurting like Oklahoma City right now. Like, he doesn't, if Shea played for the Knicks or if he played for the Lakers or if he played for the Celtics, like, it would be covered a lot more and he'd probably be talked about a lot more than he already is.
Right.
Same thing with the
Right.
Pacers. Like, Tyrese Halliburton, he plays for the Pacers and he doesn't really have, like, he doesn't have the highlight plays. He had some game winners in the playoffs and that was cool. But I don't know. I just think all those things we talked about, only one of them involved actually playing the sport and being good at the sport. And that's just, in our opinion, what goes into being a sports star. So, did you have any more to add to that?
No, those are all my points.
Okay, so let's start with others. I have others. Let's end with the NBA because that's kind of the one that we like the most. So let's finish
Okay.
with the best. But I have others that I'm gonna just name off and kind of cover them all at one time. Okay. So
Okay.
I have two golfers, and this is current sports stars. This is not
Correct. Okay.
all time sports stars. Okay.
I got you.
So current sports stars for me. In the other category, I have Scotty Scheffler, who at this moment in time is the number one golfer in the world, and as a golf fan, must see TV. When he's golfing, I kind of want to watch, and I'm keeping up with what he's doing. Another golfer I still have is Tiger Woods. And I wanted to reiterate that this is current sports stars. I think Tiger is still a current sports star in the golf world. When he is playing a tournament, it is talked about and it is followed. Even though he's not even very good anymore just because of injury and age and things like that, when Tiger's on the golf course, the cameras are following him, no matter who else is on that golf course. And so I still have Tiger Woods as a current sports star as well. I have two soccer stars, and I'm sure you could guess them both, but one of them's Messi and the other one's Ronaldo. I don't think you can talk about
Yep.
worldwide sports stardom without talking about those two, the most popular sport in the world, the two most popular players of that sport. And probably the two best players of that sport, at least in their prime they were. But still, like, if Messi's playing, people are watching. If Ronaldo's playing, people are watching. I'm not, just because I'm not a soccer fan, but I know who they are, and I don't watch soccer.
It was really eye opening. My family we took a trip to Universal Studios one year, and it was the year that the World Cup was going on. So Messi, it was the year that Messi won with Argentina, or Argentina, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, but it was so eye opening to see. Like, there were so many people from not where I'm from, and they were all wearing Messi jerseys. And there's this huge TV, like right when you walk into Universal Studios, like right next to the big globe thing. And like it's ginormous, like bigger than movie theater screen. And there were just tons of people just standing in the heat in Florida, just staring at this huge screen watching Messi play. It was so cool. Like people from Argentina sitting there watching him play. You know what I mean? We got to talk to some people.
Yep.
It was a crazy experience, and it definitely opened my eyes up to the global, and even in America, just the superstardom that Messi has.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, he's him and Ronaldo are 1 and 2 when it comes to stardom in soccer world.
Yeah.
Another other that I have is one Mr. Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, in my opinion, is a huge star in the sports world. once again, not because it's debatable. I guess it's debatable on whether he's the best at what he does or not. He's obviously not right now because he hasn't fought in forever, just because of injury, and obviously he's getting old.
Right.
But he's talked about if he were to right now announce that he was going to fight somebody, it would be talked about the next day on every sports talk show. The tickets to that event would be through the roof. All the major named stars would be there in attendance to watch Conor McGregor fight because he has that personality, he has that marketability, he has that kind of villain vibe behind him, so he has that kind of story that you talked about. And so I have Conor McGregor on there as well.
Now,
and then
here's an other. Would you still put Mike Tyson in this category of superstar, given that he just sold out the Dallas Cowboys arena?
Yeah. I guess I would have
Jerry
to.
World.
I didn't even think about super old people, but I mean, that's
it
true.
Has nothing to do. It's like you said, kind of with McGregor or Tiger Woods. Nothing to do with his current level of performance. It's just the fact that, hey, Mike Tyson's fighting again.
Yeah, let's go watch it. Yeah, let's drop $1,000 on row 330. So yeah, I mean, I guess I would have to under the criteria. And then my last other is kind of the one that's taking over the sports world, in my opinion, right now. My only woman, Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is my last other, for obvious reasons. She's I don't really know why, to be honest. I think she's really good at the sport of basketball. I'm not saying that. I don't know why she's so marketable. She has that kind of Steph Curry vibe. She hits the long threes, and she's really good. But like, she went to Iowa. Like, that's not it's not like South Carolina. It's not LSU. It's not Texas. She went to Iowa. Like, she's a white girl that doesn't have like flashy, in my opinion, doesn't have flashy stuff. Like, she can hit step back shots and she can handle the ball, but she's not anything special in my opinion. But if she's on TV, like, oh, nothing else is on, I guess I'll kind of watch some Caitlin Clark. And you look around and people are wearing Caitlin Clark jerseys. Like, who in the past 20 years has ever bought a WNBA jersey before this year? But now they're doing it because of Caitlin Clark. So I had Caitlin Clark in there as well.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark, it also made my list. I had a lot of the ones you had. I also had Floyd Mayweather. I think he's probably the most famous boxer on the planet, you know.
Yep.
And I think, you know, when Floyd fights, everybody shows up. You get all the big names there. So
yeah.
So I had Floyd there as well. And then I also had, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's retired, but I had Serena Williams.
She is, I believe, retired. But
okay,
if she was playing a tennis match, it would be talked about.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to be one of, if not the most famous female athletes of all time. I mean, I guess Simone Biles is technically retired, but Simone Biles would be in that list too, if you know what I mean. She's like 25 or something crazy like that, or less. But the
Olympics are a little bit different just because it's not as often.
Right.
But yeah, she's definitely a star, I think.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty much my whole list outside of NBA people, which is also a pretty short list, I must say.
Mine's going to be pretty short too. So the four major sports, I guess, in America are the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, and the NHL. I'm just going to go ahead and say, I think just because of my recent I guess my recent watching of the Dallas Stars has heightened my ability to name hockey players. I don't have a hockey player on there because I don't think there's any hockey stars out there. I think like Wayne Gretzky is maybe the only one. Maybe I'm wrong there just because I'm not a hockey fan.
There's a guy on Edmonton that I keep hearing about, but the fact that I don't know his name is telling that he's not a superstar
Okay.
yet. But
Is it Connor McDavid?
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that sounds right.
That's the only one that I was thinking, okay, maybe I put him on my list just because apparently he's like the number one hockey player right now, and he's kind of in a LeBron situation. He's made it to the finals the past 2 years, or the Stanley Cup the past 2 years, and obviously lost the past 2 years. So he's
Right.
kind of in this era of his career of, do I stay with this team or do I leave and try to go win? But yeah, Connor McDavid is actually the one, like you said, he's kind of the one I've only heard people talk about right now. And so I don't have any NHL stars because I don't think the NHL is a star-driven league, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people prefer that, and I do too at times. But I don't have any NHL people, and I'm assuming you don't either.
I do not. As a casual NHL fan, you know what I mean? Like, I'll watch if the Stars are in the playoffs, basically. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the only time I'm tuning in, and I don't really, like you said, outside of that McDavid dude, I don't really know anybody. So
yeah. I mean, I know a few Stars players just because, once again, I watch the Stars more than any other hockey team, but they're not stars, pun intended, in my opinion.
yeah, and they don't. It's not
right.
like you're going to see a headline on ESPN about a hockey player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is for whatever reason.
It's just the nature of the sport. It's not as marketable. It's not as, for most people in America at least, it's not as entertaining as the other sports we have. And that's just the way it is. So let's go to the MLB. Okay, I'll let you. Do you have any MLB players? I would, me looking from the outside, I would consider you a casual of the MLB, and I guess I kind of am too.
Very much so. Yeah, I would consider myself casual. The only person that I considered from the MLB would be Mike Trout. I don't know. Is he still like playing?
He's still playing. He did not make my list. He's an honorable mention. I'm not going to argue with you having him on your list. I
just feel like for a while there, it was like Mike Trout's name was everywhere. You know what I mean?
100%. He was the MVP of the league multiple times, or at least the American League, and then he's kind of been injured off and on for a while, and he doesn't play on a very good team, and I think that hurts him. If he played for the Dodgers, if he played for the Red Sox, if he played for the Yankees, kind of like Shea and kind of like, Tyrese Halliburton and things like that, he just doesn't play for one of those high marketable teams, and I think that kind of hurts his case for stardom a little bit. I have two MLB players. I'm probably more of a MLB watcher and more of an MLB fan than you are, so that doesn't really surprise me. But first, I have Aaron Judge. Have you heard of Aaron Judge?
Yankees, right?
Yankees, yep. Hits a crap ton of home runs, and this year he's batting just under 400, which 300 is really, really good, and he's batting like 370 right now or something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I have Aaron Judge. I think he might have been the AL MVP last year, American League MVP last year.
Okay.
He hits a whole lot of home runs, and he's, in my opinion, he's very well known. He's sponsored by Jordan. For a baseball player to be sponsored by Jordan, I think that's a big deal.
I lied. By the way, I also have one more. So just before you say your last one, I did have another guy on my list that I didn't read, but go ahead. Just want to say that now before you read him, and that makes me look stupid for not having him on my list because he's there.
I really hope you have this guy.
I do.
But
I do.
Aaron Judge, he's kind of the big name bat right now, I feel like, at least in the American League. And once again, he plays for the New York Yankees. He's really good at what he does. He's like 6'7", 290 or something like that. Some fact checkers will probably call me out on that because he probably doesn't weigh 290, but he's a massive human being.
Yeah. All
and he's
forearms.
good at what he does. Yeah. All those baseball dudes have massive forearms. So yes, I do have Aaron Judge, but I'll let you. Hopefully, it's the same guy, because if you don't have this guy, you're really a casual.
Yes, I have Shohei Ohtani is on my list.
Just making
Yes.
sure. All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely, he's on my list.
And once again, he kind of goes into the same. He plays for the Dodgers. Like, the Dodgers are one of, if not the most marketable team in the MLB.
Right.
Just won a World Series. Like, he pitches, he bats, he's good at both of them. Of course, he hasn't pitched as much this year. I don't know if you know that or not, but he hasn't pitched as much this year. He had surgery during last season, or maybe during the off season, and so he hasn't pitched as much. But he's still one of the best hitters in the league. One of the most talked about players in the league.
Definitely, probably globally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he reaches global superstardom.
100% he reaches global superstardom. And so I don't think you can make an MLB list talking about top players or talking about stars or most popular players without Shohei Ohtani. So I am glad you had him on there, because I was worried Mike Trout was your only one there, and I was not going to be. We were going to lose some credibility if we talked about the MLB later on.
Right.
All right, so let's go on to the NFL.
Okay.
Who do you have for the NFL?
The NFL.
Let me just start first. I just interrupted you, but I am 100% a casual of the NFL. Right. I do not really watch the NFL. The Cowboys are awful, and they've kind of always been my team, and I don't really even care if they win or lose now. I'll tune in if they're playing just to see what's going on, but I'm not following the sport of football as much as I probably used to.
Yeah. So for my NFL stars, I have Patrick Mahomes, who I think that's a given.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it's easier to be a star in the NFL when you're a quarterback, obviously. You know what I mean? Quarterbacks get 100%. All the headlines.
It's a quarterback's league. Yeah.
That said, there's a couple guys that I want to put in there. I'm just not sure if they're actual stars, like global stars like Patrick Mahomes is. Mm-hmm. But one guy that's still playing that's pretty darn old might still be a star, in my opinion, and that's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Who else is going to get, besides Tom Brady when he's 40, who else is going to get that kind of coverage when they're that old, getting trade, you know what I mean, signing with different teams at that age, you know, it's like Tom Brady, Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers are the three guys with that kind of career that get talked about.
Right.
And then I also have, Travis Kelce, because absolutely everyone knows who Travis Kelce is because of the Chiefs and Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? Like, he reaches two different markets, which
100%.
You know, more people might know who Travis Kelce is than Patrick Mahomes. I'll be real honest with you.
It honestly wouldn't surprise me.
And then I also, this might be a stretch, but I also have Christian McCaffrey. Just because I think he's, for whatever reason, he's also marketable. You know, you see him everywhere. I've seen him on 5 different commercials during halftime shows and stuff like that. Yeah. And so those are the guys I got for the NFL. I don't have too many.
Yeah. I in all honesty, I had 2, and it was Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And like you said, Patrick Mahomes is a given. I think Travis Kelce is a given too. And once again, we said it at the start, but it's not because he's a really good football player. Yeah. It's not because he's a really good football player. It's because people know who he is. And it's not because people know who he is because of his football ability. He dates Taylor Swift, and that introduced him into a whole new world of stardom.
It's like Lamar Odom dating a Kardashian. Like, no one knew who Lamar Odom was, and he dates a Kardashian, and now everyone knows who Lamar Odom is.
Yeah. And so those are the only 2 I had. I had I debated on putting Aaron Rodgers on there. I think I should have. He literally has a Netflix show out right now, and so like
he's
I think
strangely like marketable. I don't know what makes
he's
him so
marketable.
box office, but
He's
he
weird.
does seem like box office. Yeah, he is weird.
Yeah,
That's
he
probably
says
what it
some
is.
weird
Yeah.
stuff. He talks about some weird stuff. He has different views on the world, and he's good at football.
See him on,
and so
yeah, and you'll see him on Joe Rogan. You just never know what that guy's
Yeah.
gonna do next. Huge
Exactly.
mustache, long hair
Yeah.
sometimes. Just
he
never
might
know.
disappear in the woods for 6 months and then come back a completely different human being, and we're going to talk
Yep.
about it because he's a star. So yeah, I think I probably should have put Aaron Rodgers on there, but
Yeah.
I didn't. So Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce are kind of my main two there.
Yeah, I agree. They're definitely top two. Yep.
Yeah. All right. My list for the NBA, I'm just going to let you know, is very, very short.
Same. And we probably have the
good.
same people.
All right, we're going to see. Some people are going to probably laugh at me and think I'm biased, but we're going to talk about it. Yeah.
Maybe not. Never mind.
So I'll start with my honorable mention. I think Kevin Durant is on my honorable mention. I'm just going to give a hot take to start. I don't think Kevin Durant is as marketable. I don't think he's as talked about. I don't think he's as big as he used to be. I see Kevin Durant as kind of Kobe Bryant in the 2013, 2014, 2015
In like
years.
the no man's land when the Lakers were really terrible. Yeah.
Like he had a really successful prime. He won MVPs, he won championships, he won scoring titles. He was the best player in the league, probably at least talked about at times. He was a star in his prime. I don't think he's as
Well,
high
yeah.
on the list as the people that I have as stars.
Me neither. And here's the thing. I think it goes to like one of the earlier points that I had was the narrative. People, I mean, KD is too good to be a journeyman in the NBA. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy that someone with that kind of talent is just bouncing around different teams willingly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's just can't find a spot for whatever reason
Yeah.
where he can go win. I mean, outside of Golden State, you know what I mean? But then all that blew up in his face too. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's a weird thing for Kevin Durant because he is huge. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of people know who Kevin Durant is, but
Yeah.
I don't think for whatever reason I don't think he makes the same list that the guys that I have on my list are on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have him. I wanted to talk about him. I have him as an honorable mention. I think he's maybe barely hanging on at best, but I do see him as. I think people know him because of his past and not because of kind of what he's doing right now, and so I think that helps him in terms of his stardom. If I were to show a casual fan or an NBA non-watcher a picture of Kevin Durant, would they be able to tell me who that is? Maybe, maybe not. But I don't think it's because of what he's done, at least in the past 3 years.
Yeah, like
It would be
let us know in the
because-
chat is Aaron Rodgers bigger superstar in the NFL right now than Kevin Durant is in the NBA? Just let us know.
Yeah.
We would like
Yeah.
to know. Or are they right even? Because I feel like that's a pretty
Yeah.
good comparison.
Yeah, I was actually thinking like Kevin Durant is kind of the Aaron Rodgers of the NBA. I think Kevin Durant's a little weird. He doesn't really care what anybody thinks. He just wants to play basketball. That's not really what Aaron Rodgers is, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers cares what people think. But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think Aaron Rodgers is a bigger superstar than Kevin Durant is. In my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. But let us know, chat.
Yeah. Answer that question for us. Do you have honorable mentions? Or anybody that you're like, maybe?
I had two possible honorable mentions that didn't make the level of the guys that I have on top, and that is maybe three. One of them's a big stretch, But
The more you think about it.
I know. I'll say three, I guess, honorable mentions. The first one's Victor Wembanyama because I mean, he's like the tallest guy in the NBA,
Ever.
and people just know that he's that big French freak. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
people want to,
Uh-huh.
and it goes to kind of something because what kind of sparked us to have this conversation is something that Magic Johnson said on First Take the other day.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
when I texted
Shout out
you
to
about
First
this
Take.
topic. Yeah. He said he was asked the question, what constitutes a superstar, and he said specifically, he said a person who can go on the road and sell the building. And I think if I'm going to watch an NBA game, Wembanyama might be on the top of my list for people I want to see play against Dallas. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like
Yes.
he's a freak of nature, and people want to go to the circus and watch him. You know.
Yeah.
So I have him. I have Luka Doncic
Okay. I'm okay with that.
because I think he's global at this point, and I think going to LA makes him even more global. I think he's kind of maybe not the face of the league right now, but he is certainly he's certainly up there. I feel like a lot of people around the world know who Luka Doncic is, especially after the freaking trade. That
100%.
That shot him up even higher.
Absolutely.
And I also have Giannis Antetokounmpo on there because he's also a Greek freak or a freak.
Yeah.
That's Greek.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, I mean, people want to see the crazy players that with abilities that are superhuman. You know what I mean? And if anyone has that, it's definitely Giannis. Still, he still has it. You know, he might not be on top of the league like he was at a couple years ago. A couple years ago, it was kind of a no question. Giannis is the best player in the league, and that conversation's changed a little bit. But I think he's still a superstar for sure.
Yeah.
A couple people I missed out on that aren't on my list. And you said yours was short, so I'm assuming this guy's not on yours either. But 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic, not on my list.
Nope.
I think he. I mean, if you said to me he's the greatest player in the NBA right now, I would not argue with you one bit. I think he probably is. I don't. You know what I mean? And who can argue against it? He's won 3 MVPs and a championship. You know what I mean? And he's still in his prime.
Yeah.
So, but he's just not marketable. He's not exciting to watch. I mean, he is, but he's not. You know what I mean? He's not. He's kind of like watching Tim Duncan. You're not.
That's
you're
exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, you're not gonna see any crazy highlights on YouTube of Nikola Jokic other than maybe a couple crazy passes. But
he might hit a one-legged fader from behind his head every once in a while, but
it's gonna look terrible. But you know what?
Yeah, right. It's not poster dunks. He's not breaking people's ankles. He's not doing stuff like that. That is marketable. And so I don't have him on there.
He's just
either.
a
And
box
he plays
office
for
machine,
Denver.
is what he is. And he not box office. He's a stat
box
machine.
score.
Box score machine is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
He's a box score machine. So
yeah, and he plays in Denver. Like no offense to the Nugget fans out there, but you're not the Knicks, you're not the Lakers, you're not the Celtics. Like, sorry,
they know it.
But yeah, and like I said, some people are okay with that. I'm fine that we're Mavs fans. Like, I'm fine that they're not huge market. I don't want all those distractions. I just want a good basketball team.
Yeah.
I don't care if high, Hollywood stars are sitting courtside or not at the Mavs games. I just want the Mavs to win.
it
Knicks
feels more
and
personal.
Lakers and,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
When
it's
you're
more
a
of a
fan of
community
someone
feel.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So like I said, KD was kind of my only one on my honorable mention. I don't have Giannis on my list either. I would put him on my honorable mention. I didn't, but I put him on my honorable mention. I only have 3 on my stars. How many do you have?
2.
Ooh, okay. I bet we have the same 2. All right. Well, my third. I'll just go ahead and say my third one then. My third one is Luka. And before people
Look,
get all over me.
You had Dirk in your top 10 all time, and you got Luka
Yeah.
as a superstar, which,
Yeah.
I mean, I won't.
So
I'm happy about it.
yeah, before people just jump all over my case and hit the comments up, Luka was not a star, I don't think, until the trade. I think the trade sent him over the edge. That trade was literally like the most talked about sports event, maybe in like the past, since LeBron's decision, I think. Luka being traded
yeah.
was one of the most talked about, most well known. Like, wait, they traded him? Like, isn't he like really good? Like, people, like casual fans, like, wait, isn't Luka like really good? And
Yeah.
they traded him for Anthony Davis, who obviously is not on either of our lists. Like, I think Luka, and once again, it's not because I'm a huge Mavs fan. I really think like after the trade, that's when he shot up into stardom. You didn't see Luka in Gatorade commercials before the trade. I didn't see Luka in a lot of Jordan commercials before the trade. I didn't see a lot of people talking about him on social media before the trade. I didn't see him on like random YouTube videos before the trade, except like Dude Perfect. And that's a Texas, Dallas-based.
Yeah, and that's why the league being rigged and rigging this so Luka becomes the face of the LA Lakers is so compelling of a narrative. It's because
100%.
you have the new face of the league to take the torch from LeBron. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and he's on the
100%.
LA Lakers. Like that. It could not be more Hollywood, more storybook.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. And so I do have Luka on there only after the trade. I don't think he was before that because he's a really good basketball player. He does have some highlight moments. He throws some crazy passes and he hits some step backs over giants to win games. And he's got a vicious personality. He's talked about a lot because of that. He's very competitive, but outside of basketball, you don't hear about him a lot, you know? And so I think that hurt his stardom, but because of the trade, I do have Luka on the list. So
I feel like Luka before the trade was like same stardom levels, like prime, like James Harden or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, James Harden was an MVP and things like that, but I think he might be kind of the same as Shea is right now.
You think so?
On the Thunder. I actually, he's probably higher than Shea was or is. Maybe like Jason Tatum. I don't know who else. Maybe even Jokic. Like he's kind of on the same level as the Jokic, I think, in terms of stardom. Before the trade, but after the trade, I think he's a star just because of that.
That's fair.
I'm assuming we have the same two. So you want to just say yours?
Yep, that would be Stephen Curry and LeBron James.
Yep, those are my two as well.
Those are the two stars that I have in the NBA. Like I talked about earlier with the narrative thing, you know, this is Magic and Bird of our generation. This is box office. This is the best rivalry that we've certainly seen in our lifetimes. Maybe in any sport. You know, that's the kind of rivalry they had, and LeBron has been the face of the league forever.
Yes, 20 years.
For 20 years, and Curry was on maybe the greatest team of all time with the 2 years that he was on a team with Kevin Durant.
Yeah, it's not a maybe. It was the greatest teams. Shout out to all you Chicago Bulls guys, Michael Jordan lovers. The Warriors were better. I'm just letting you know. Yeah,
so I mean, this is LeBron and Curry. There's kind of no debate.
No, I don't think there's any debate.
Stars.
Yeah, to have those two on the list, I guess I could understand some debate for having more people. Yeah. But if LeBron and Steph are your standard, I don't think anybody really reaches that standard. Like I said, Luka kind of does because of the trade. But I don't think anybody reaches the standard that LeBron and Steph are because of, once again, not because of their basketball ability, because of everything else. LeBron his cultural impact is ginormous. He went very political there for a while. Steph Curry changed the game, literally. Little kids are shooting threes at basketball camp now because Steph Curry does it.
Yep.
They're both outside of their sport. They're very well known. LeBron is a very avid sports fan. He goes to a lot of NFL games. He's very active on like social media. He's in interviews. He's making TV show appearances and movie appearances. Space Jam 2, like all those things. Steph is a huge golfer. He does things outside of basketball as well. He's a huge golfer. He's a very good family man. People know who his wife is. And so I think both of those two are really kind of the standard for NBA stars to meet. And Luka's barely up there just because, like I said, because of the trade. But I think those two are really the only two NBA stars in the league right now.
Do you think there's like, as far as superstardom goes, or let's say must-watch TV, do you think Curry is more must-watch than LeBron? That's a tough one. They're probably at the same level, but I just feel like Curry has like this crazy. I feel like people tune in to watch Curry just because to see a guy that looks like him next to a bunch of giants doing crazy stuff like that is ridiculous. You know.
Yeah, I think they're level with each other, really. I mean, I'm thinking back to the most current thing, the Olympics, last summer, like Steph going crazy and basically taking over the gold medal game. Like, that's must-watch TV. But if LeBron would have done the same thing, like if LeBron's scoring 12 straight and getting and ones and postering people and hitting a fadeaway from the short corner, like to take the lead, like I think that's must-watch too. So I think they're neck and neck, really.
That's fair. I was just trying to get back in the good graces of people who shunned me after I didn't put him in my top 10 all time.
Yeah, whatever. There's no comment.
He was 11. He was 11.
Yeah. Larry Bird was my 11 for all you haters out there. All right, man. Well, that's kind of our sports star. We're gonna hit a little bit. That's kind of the main event of the episode, but we also kind of want to talk about movie stars. Like when you think of stars, you typically think about movie stars and Hollywood stars. Yeah. So we're gonna kind of do the same format. What is a movie star? What constitutes a movie star? Especially, really, just an entertainment, I guess, star. It could be TV or movie, just film. And so for me, some of the bullets that I have, by the way, before we get going, in the comments, leave us your stars in the sports world. Where did we go wrong? Who did we forget? Type stuff. Because
please,
we want to know. So what is a movie star? What constitutes a movie star? One of the bullets that I put is, if this person is the reason I want to watch a movie or a TV show. I have no idea what the movie's about. I have no idea what the TV show is about, but I know it has this actor or actress in it. I want to watch that TV show or I want to watch that movie. That kind of defines a star to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. But maybe my hot take is I don't really know that movie stars exist like they used to. Like when, like, you know, Hollywood used to like engineer movie stars. You know what I mean? Like they used to put people in certain movies so that they would build up their stardom so they could market them and sell more movies. And that's not really what's going on today. You know, even like going all the way, like, you know, John Wayne, of course, but like going all the way up into the 90s, like people like Julia Roberts. You know what I mean? Like Julia Roberts in the 90s, you know, like you could just say, "Hey babe, let's go see the new Julia Roberts movie." It doesn't even matter, like you said, what's going on. You don't even have to see the trailer. She's like, "Hey, it's Julia Roberts. Let's go check it out." Okay.
Yep.
And then I feel like that's what happened.
Yeah.
And even through to the early 2000s with Will Ferrell, I feel like there was a stretch with Will Ferrell where it was like that, like they would pitch Will Ferrell doing different things. Like Hey,
Yeah.
let's sell a movie on, hey, Will Ferrell is a NASCAR driver. Okay, green
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
Hey, Will Ferrell's an anchorman. Okay, he's a soccer coach. Okay, like
Yeah.
you could just say Will Ferrell's ice skating. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
It's just like the script doesn't even matter. We'll write it afterwards. Like people want to see Will
Yeah.
Ferrell do different things, and it's just
Right.
that's just how movies were made.
Yeah.
And I think that that's like starting around the time the MCU kicked off in like 2008. I think starting in 2008, all of a sudden there was a focus on IP driven movies. You know what I mean? Like now it's the characters and the IP. Like people want to go see the new Marvel movie. People want to go see
Uh-huh.
the new like Quentin Tarantino has an interview where he's talking about how Captain like Chris Evans isn't a movie star. Captain America is a movie star. People want to go see Captain
100%.
America, and they
Yep.
don't whatever actor whatever you know what I mean. Like, and I think it's the same thing for this new Superman movie coming out, which I'm super excited for, by the way. But David Corn Sweat, who is the new guy's name, is not. I don't think this is going to make him a megastar. You know what I mean? Like it's going to make
Yeah.
him a megastar in the same way that Chris Evans is an A-lister, in the same way
Yeah.
that Chris Hemsworth is an A-lister, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I think that it's the care. Even somebody like Ryan Reynolds, who I think is like kind of, you know what I mean? Like he's on top of the A-list, if you want to
Yeah.
say right now.
Uh-huh.
Um, he is. It's people want to go see Deadpool. Let's go see Deadpool.
Yep.
They don't want to go see the new Ryan Reynolds movie because there's about 8 that drop a year on Netflix. Streaming
Right.
has completely changed the game. So you know what I mean? Like it's they want to go see the character. They don't want to go. They want, and that's why there's so many IP driven movies and so many Disney remakes because
Uh-huh.
they don't trust movie stars to sell tickets anymore. They trust, that they know that they can cash in on Snow White, even though that's a bad example because it didn't make money, but they made the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I mean? Like they
They
know
they trust
they
the
can.
story more than anything else because the story has proven that it can sell tickets.
Yeah, they trust how iconic the stuff that they have in their catalog is, and so they trust that people are going to go want to go watch the new Lilo and Stitch movie because
Yep.
even if you reissued the animated movie in theaters, people would still probably show up, and so hey, let's make it live action, and maybe more people will show up. So
Yep.
it's you know what I mean. It's all IP driven these days, which I don't think there's anything wrong with IP driven stuff. I don't think there's anything wrong with movie stars selling tickets. I think it's just because of technology, because of streaming, the whole game has changed, and so I don't know that they even exist. The star power that movie stars had back in back in the early 2000s and the 90s. I don't know that they exist these days, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. The people that I'm gonna list and name, the current ones, or I guess maybe the up and coming ones, are nowhere near the ones that you talked about, the ones of old.
I have
But
one guy that I think could be put into the category of the people of old, like the people like Sandra Bullock or the people like Julia Roberts in the 90s, or like Sylvester Stallone and Arnold
yeah,
Schwarzenegger in the 80s. Like, hey,
yeah,
let's go see the new Stallone movie. What's he doing? I think it's like arm wrestling or something. Okay,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, I'm
It's
down.
Stallone. I'll
Right.
go watch it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you say. I don't think movies are the same. Movie theaters aren't the same. COVID kind of changed movie theaters. Streaming has obviously really changed it. And all the streaming networks and how often they can put new stuff out. And the quality maybe isn't as good, but the quantity is much more. And so, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with everything there. I kind of think, um, in my opinion, I think it kind of goes into the sports star a little bit too, and their lives outside of the movies. I think factors into it more as well. Like when you think of Hollywood, you think of the people and the drama. You think of are they sitting courtside at basketball games? Is the
Yeah.
paparazzi following them around? Is TMZ talking about them? What did they do today? things like that. Their relationship. Are they married? Are they dating? Who are they dating? Why are they, all that kind of, who are they going on vacation with? Who'd they see holding hands on the street? Like that kind of stuff is hot. When I think of Hollywood, like that's kind of what I think about, the paparazzi off-screen type stuff. And to be honest, like I'm sure it's out there. I don't fall into that stuff as much. And so I just don't think that's there as much anymore. For the reasons you said, it's not as much about the actors as it is about the characters now.
Also,
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and I think to your point, like I think it's also has a lot to do with social media. Like you don't have to go to TMZ or go to read articles to see what your favorite stars are doing because they all have Twitter accounts. You know what I mean? They're all posting stuff and they're in a million different interviews on YouTube that you can go watch. You know what I mean? So I think social media has also kind of pulled back the curtain on Hollywood a little bit. Like used to, stars had a little bit of myth to them or mystique.
Yeah,
like they had like a smoke and mirrors type of like, oh, so Marlon Brando so elusive or whatever back in the day, and or people like that. And these days you if you want to know what a star's doing or what he had for breakfast, you can go find that.
Yeah.
So it kind of
they're probably telling you.
Exactly. Yeah, it kind of takes the fantasy away from it a little bit, and people are just less interested, I think, these days.
Yeah.
May save like maybe a few. But yeah.
So obvious, like you said, obvious older ones. Like I had Julia Roberts, I had Will Ferrell, I have Matthew McConaughey, I have Meryl Streep. Obviously like Brad Pitt, Tom Hanks, DiCaprio, like all those people. So who do you think currently? I was fighting to find people because I'm kind of like you. I have one that I think Mike could get there. But I was trying to I was really scrounging to find people that maybe could get there. So let me go first because yours is probably going to be more in depth and you know what you're talking about a little more. But my short list, these are the people that I was scrounging for. Zendaya is one that I have. She's in Spider-Man, Dune, Euphoria. She's a fashion icon, and she's dating Spider-Man. She's dating Tom Holland. And so I think that kind of makes her a little bit of a star. I also have Tom Holland because of, obviously, he's Spider-Man.
And he's dating Zendaya, right?
And he's dating Zendaya, right. That kind of goes into it as well. I have Pedro Pascal, The Last of Us, The Mandalorian. He's hosted SNL. He's kind of talked about quite a bit right now, I think, in the social media world. He's got a few memes floating around. And so I have him on there. I have Glenn Powell on there. Really just because of his Top Gun Maverick appearance. I think that kind of, who the heck is this guy? He was probably in stuff before that, but that kind of sent him over the top a little bit. I had Ryan Reynolds in there as well. I think, to be honest, Ryan Reynolds could probably reach that not Will Ferrell status, but the star status that I listed earlier. I have one more that is kind of reaching, but I have Timothée Chalamet in there. He was in Dune as well. He's dating one of the Jenners. That kind of just shoots him up the list because everybody knows who the Jenners and the Kardashians are. He's sitting courtside at the Knicks games, and he's kind of got a meme that was going around for a little bit on Twitter. So he's kind of known as well. But the only one that I really think has a shot at possibly, and I'm gonna forget some. There's no doubt about it. But he possibly has a shot of reaching that McConaughey, DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Denzel, Morgan Freeman, like that kind of status. Is Michael B. Jordan. I have Michael B. Jordan as the one who I think Mike could, eventually get there. He is the Black Panther, or he's in the Black Panther movies.
Yeah.
He wasn't the Black Panther. Don't fact check me on that, commenters. He's Creed. He's in the new Sinners. Like, he's still making very high quality movies. He's not just a one hit wonder. He wasn't just a Black Panther star and now he's gone. He wasn't just Creed and now he's gone. He's continually making good movies. He's not a one hit wonder at all. I think he's very marketable. He's talked about a lot, I think, and people know who he is. And so I think Michael B. Jordan might get up there at some point. Is he there right now? Absolutely not. He's not a Matthew McConaughey. He's not a Meryl Streep. He's not a Tom Hanks. He's not a Johnny Depp. But I think he could possibly maybe get there. So,
yeah.
And I'm sure I missed a few. So just comment the ones I missed.
You got quite a few of the ones I had, basically almost all of them. I had Zendaya. I think she's Zendaya, Timothy Chalamet are my two like big up and coming stars.
Yeah.
And it's great because I love the Dune movies and I like them as well. But like I said, this has nothing to do with whether I like them. This is just whether or not they're stars. And they are certainly up and coming stars, especially Zendaya. I think she's probably the most well known up and comer at the moment.
For sure, woman. I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
I don't think there's any other women out there.
Yeah, maybe even across the board. She might be above Timothy Chalamet just because her stretch reaches beyond just the movies she's in. You know, Timothy's kind of stops at the movies he's in, and he's probably been in more varied movies than her, and he's had more like big leading roles than her. But you know, Zendaya is a megastar, and she had like a supporting role in Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like she's not headlining. You know, she's not playing iconic characters or anything like that. But she is still a huge star, and I think that's because it reaches into her businesses outside of movies. Like you said, she's a fashion icon. I think DiCaprio is still a big. I think he's a draw. I feel like people might say, "Hey, let's go see the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie," because he only works like every 3-4 years. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have a whole lot of stuff coming out, and he's still like a big, like when you say DiCaprio, obviously everyone knows. It's just the most. I mean, he's maybe the most recognizable name in Hollywood is Leonardo DiCaprio, just because. But I think a lot of that has a lot to do with how big he was in the '90s, and I definitely don't think he's as big as he used to be. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I don't think he's box office like he used to be. So he doesn't quite reach. Like I said, I have one person that I could think of that's a legit star that reaches like the levels of Stallone and Schwarzenegger and stuff in the 80s and all that stuff. And then another honorable mention, I had Tom Cruise, because he's, I mean, but at the same time, people wanted to go see the new Top Gun. People want to go see the new Mission Impossible. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I love Tom Cruise, and I wish he did more than just those franchise stuff, because he's great in everything he does. But at this, he's doing franchise stuff. He's known for that at this point. It's just, hey, Tom Cruise is doing another crazy stunt in Mission Impossible. Let's go check it out. So in that sense, maybe he's a star. If you want to argue with me about that, then that's, I don't think I'd argue too much back with you that Tom Cruise is one of the last remaining stars in Hollywood. But honestly, I think if there's one dude that's like a marketable star, like, hey, let's go see the new this guy movie, it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh my gosh.
I really think that, like, and I'm not even a big Rock fan. Like, I don't go see I don't see a lot of his. I went to see Black Adam, and I probably went to see it just because it's The Rock in a superhero movie. To be honest with you, but like, I don't see a whole lot of Rock stuff because I don't think his movies are that great. But at the same time, people don't go see the Rock movies because they think that they're gonna have just a transcendent experience. They go because They know what to expect. They know you're going to get oiled up pecs in your face. And you're going to like it.
You're going to like it.
And that's just what The Rock does. For whatever reason, and he's built it up over his career with the WWE. Obviously, that
Right.
kind of carried into his movie career, and he's just built it up
Yeah.
and up ever since then. So I think if there's one like, hey, let's go see the new The Rock movie, like, okay, it's we
Yeah.
know we're going to a Rock movie. We usually know what to expect. However, he is branching out a little bit. Did you see the trailer for his newest movie?
I have not.
I can't remember what it's called, but he's playing a UFC fighter. It's based on a true story. He's playing a UFC fighter, and it looks like a legit drama. Like, he's wearing makeup, so you can't really tell. Like, obviously you can tell it's The Rock, but his face looks a little different. And when I finished the trailer, I was like, is Dwayne Johnson going to get nominated for an Oscar? Is that a world that I'm about to be living in right now? Like,
No
it looks
way.
it looks legit. I'm telling you, go watch the trailer and you're going to be like, okay, like it
Yeah.
could be like it might be an A24 movie or something like that. You know what I mean?
It says um wait, hang on.
But I'm telling you, it looks like a legit drama. It's got him and Emily Blunt, and Rock's doing different stuff
Okay.
these days. He's
Yeah. So
branching out a
there's
little bit. No
yeah,
explosions.
so it's called this is not going to help your case, I don't think. But it's called The Smashing Machine.
Of course. That's,
So I
it
don't
has to
think
be
that
that
helps.
guy's nickname or something in real life. There's
Yeah,
no
I
way
don't think
they
that
would just title it
helps
that.
your I don't think that helps your case a whole lot. But it does star Dwayne Johnson as
The
real life
serious
MMA
drama.
legend. Yeah, MMA real life legend, Mark Kerr.
Marker.
But it
Okay.
is, I don't know what A24 biopic means, but it is an A24 biopic if you want to explain what that means.
They're kind of an up and coming, well, not up and coming. They're kind of on top of the game when it comes to like indie, like highbrow type of movies. You know what I mean? Like
Is it
they
like
got big with
is it like a
horror stuff,
company
but
or a what?
they're a studio, so
Oh,
they
okay. All
produce,
right.
yeah, they produce movies and stuff. So
Okay, I gotcha.
they've
Yeah.
they've done some highbrow stuff. I guess is what they're known
Yeah.
for.
I mean, it says the film delves deep into Kerr's, which is Dwayne Johnson's character, Kerr's rise, addiction struggles, personal battles. Features Emily Blunt, like you said. I feel like maybe it's kind of Rocky-ish.
It looks like I watched the trailer. It looks like a really depressing Rocky. If
Yeah,
Rocky
or
was super
Creed-ish,
depressing.
Rocky-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'll have to go check out the trailer. The Smashing
Yeah.
Machine,
Smashing
starring Dwayne
machine.
the Rock Johnson.
Yeah, it sounds like another just crazy rock vehicle action movie, but it does
Yeah.
look legit. But that's the thing about The Rock. He's kind of franchise proof. Like, people can go see him in whatever franchise he's doing, and they'll still go see him because it's a new rock movie, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why I think he's comparable to guys like Stallone were in the '80s, and maybe like somebody like Tom Hanks in the '90s. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
like, hey, let's go see the new Tom Hanks movie. Well, I think that's what people are saying about The Rock these days. Maybe not to that level, but if there's
Yeah.
one that's left, I think it's probably The Rock.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with all of it. I'm not a huge The Rock actor fan. I don't, like you said, his movies aren't that good.
Right.
Like, I only watched Jumanji because Kevin Hart's hilarious, and him and Kevin Hart together are even more funny. But like, I don't. To be honest, if The Rock's in a movie, I'm trying not to watch it unless it's like a comedy. But
That's the thing,
but
though, like-
that doesn't take away from his stardom. Like, I completely here. I was contemplating talking about The Rock, seriously.
Yeah.
But I didn't know where to. I don't consider him a movie star. I consider him like just
Interesting.
an entertainment icon, I guess.
Celebrity. I got you.
Yeah, he's just that's exactly right. He's just a celebrity. Like, when I think of The Rock, I don't think, oh, he's a movie star. But I also don't like, actually, I do actually think of him as a WWE wrestler. But that's just, I mean, he was better in WWE, I think, than he was in any movie he's ever been in.
Yeah,
But then
and I agree.
like,
I agree with all that, but I still think that, like, for whatever reason, like, his movies Like I feel like people still go see him. Like I think he's still a
Yeah.
big box office draw, and that's
I mean,
without
clearly
being
because he's
an
still
Avenger.
making movies.
Yeah, yeah, and he's not part of Marvel. He's not an Avenger.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
one thing to say like, oh, Robert Downey Jr. has made or Robert Downey Jr. and Samuel L. Jackson have made the most money of anybody at the box office. Yeah, well, they're the face of the Avengers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
they've been in every single Avengers movie, and of course they're going to be the number one box office draw because their movies make the
Yeah.
most money. But again,
Right.
is that Marvel selling tickets or is that Robert Downey Jr. selling tickets? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's that debate. Whereas I think The
Yeah.
Rock is just he's just selling The Rock tickets.
I seriously, I don't disagree with you. I'm just not, I think The Rock is a star. I think he's a major star. I just don't consider him a movie star. But you're making fair points. I don't disagree with anything you're saying. But I can't, I don't really think I can put him into a category. Like you said,
he's
he's a celebrity.
unicorn
He's
of the entertainment.
he's a
industry.
star for sure, but he's just like a celebrity star.
Yeah,
People know who he is. People talk about him. He's been around a long time. He's very diverse. He's done things outside of movies. He's done things outside of WWE, and stuff like that. So I really don't disagree with you at all. So Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock. I feel like he's like the brand. Like when we talked about superstars in sports become a brand at some point.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of what's happened to The Rock. He's just like you said. He's just a celebrity. He's a brand. He's kind of become like a product himself.
Yeah.
And
he does have his own brand. I think.
Yeah. Like if
he's
yeah.
He's like partnered
he
with
is.
Under Armour, and he has his own like shoe. I know he has his own shoes.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah, you're right. It's the one that has like the bull looking thing on it or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So The Rock, my
Dwayne The
one
Rock Johnson.
superstar left in Hollywood is the Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Matthew McConaughey are in the same movie star conversations.
It's crazy.
For totally different reasons.
That's where we're living. Also, one thing I didn't talk about yet, but TV. Well, I kind of talked about streaming, but TV has also changed the game too. Because before, like big movie stars didn't do TV shows. Like that wasn't a thing. Like Leonardo DiCaprio still doesn't do them, but like he's kind of the last one that's held out of that thing. Him and I think Chalamet is following that line of thinking.
Yeah.
But nowadays, like the big movie stars, you'll see them in a random Netflix show or Apple TV or something like that, and you're like, oh hey, I like that guy. Let's check out this TV show. And I feel like while that might be great for streaming, that also kind of makes them less of a box office draw when you can just watch them on TV instead of having to go to the theater to see them. You know, like that's why DiCaprio was an honorable mention for me. Is like you got to go to the theater to see DiCaprio, or wait for him to come out on streaming. You know, like but still, like I feel like TV has also changed the game a little bit, and not having like DVDs and stuff anymore is also like there was an interview with Matt Damon on Hot Ones. Have you ever watched Hot Ones?
I have watched Hot Ones. Yep.
That's a great show. It's so much fun to watch. But he was talking about how sale, like you didn't have to make all of your money at the box office because you knew there was going to be a second round with DVD sales. And nowadays streaming has canceled that out. And so it's just at the box office. And so that's why mid-budget movies don't get made as often anymore is because of streaming, really. And because studios are gambling all their money on one project that has an IP attached to it, like Avengers, like a Disney remake. Yeah. And so that's why there's not a whole lot of mid-budget stuff, and I think that's kind of contributed to the death of the movie star that we've been discussing. So
yeah, well, and I also kind of think like yes, TV shows play into it. I think TV shows and series are more popular than movies, at least nowadays. I don't really think they probably were back then, just because you had to wait every week for a TV show to come out, and then you'd have to wait a year for another season to come out. Like now they're dropping 4 seasons at once and you can watch the entire show. And
and it's some of the best like entertainment, like storytelling ever on screen. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Right.
Even though you're sitting there
Yeah.
watching it in your living room, like it's hard to find a movie for me that's as good as True Detective season 1. That's just a stone cold
right.
fact. Like
Exactly.
it's just that good. So
Right. Yeah. Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, like,
yeah,
and here's the thing too, like, this has always been something my dad said, like, I don't really want to just sit down for 2.5 hours and watch something. Like, that's different for different people. Some people do, and I don't mind going to the movie theater and doing that. But like, if
yeah.
I'm at home, let's watch a 45-minute episode, and then, all right, I need to go do something else now. I need to finish the laundry, or I need to clean the kitchen, or I need to go mow.
If
I
I
can't
watch a
start this
movie
two
at
and a half
home,
hour movie because I got to mow here in an hour.
yeah, if I watch a movie at home, like I literally have to like schedule it. Like I have to be
Yes.
like, okay, I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. and watch this before anybody wakes up, and then I'm gonna, go about my day. Like
Right.
that's like
Yeah.
something that I have to think about if I want to watch a movie. So
Yeah, exactly. So I think TV shows for sure, streaming for sure have kind of hindered. We know it's hindered like actual movie theaters, but even movies in general. And because of that, movie stars, I think it has changed the game a little bit. I don't know if it's for better or worse, but it's definitely changed the game.
definitely.
All right. Well, that is episode 9 of Yada Yada. Like we always say, make sure you're leaving comments. Give us your sports stars. Who did we miss? Who did we miss? Who did we put in there that probably shouldn't be in there? If it's Luca, then you don't have to tell me, because
he
I'm not
knows
gonna
our-
listen.
And your movie stars. Make sure you drop your movie stars in the chat as well. Is there anybody left? Am I way off on my Dwayne Johnson hot take?
Yeah, I don't think you're way off. I don't know. I don't see him as a movie star, but I do definitely
That's fair.
think of him as a star. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So leave a comment, drop a like, and also make sure you're telling people about the Yada Yada podcast. I've had people say, specifically episode 8, I heard people say like, "Oh, I've listened to so much new music. Okay, that's awesome. Go tell other people. Hey, I heard on Yada Yada podcast. Hey, you got to go listen to Yada Yada podcast." That way we can grow our show, and heck, we might even make some money off this thing at some point.
Hey, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers, so if you can help us out with that, that's that's goal number 1. We're just gonna keep growing from there. So
I think we're in the 30s right now, 30
that.
subscribers. And subscribe does not mean you just search us up every time you look for an episode. You have to actually click the button, click follow, or click the plus button, whether you're on Apple or Spotify. That way we can hit that century mark at some point in the near future.
Help your parents click the button. They're gonna need to know how to do that.
Yeah, because I did. I 100% had to help my parents click the button, and so you're gonna have to help yours as well. Spread the word. Turn us on when you're mowing. Turn us on when you're doing laundry, cooking dinner.
Just like hanging out with two best buds,
Yep, we're Giada-ing. Also, we're running out of ideas.
Tune in. But also, we have no ideas left. We're just creatively bankrupt, and we need your help.
Where I was going with that is tell us, like, what do we need to talk about? What are some things you want to hear us talk about? You're kind of getting to know us by this point, and what we think about and what we like and what we don't like, and stuff like that, our interests. And so if you want to hear us talk about something, tell us, leave a comment. We should talk about this. We should debate this. If you're the one we choose, we might even have you on the show if we choose your topic.
True.
Tell us about that.
We might set up an email soon for the show. That way you guys, you guys can email us, and that might be a little easier than digging through the chats.
We need to do that.
If y'all want to email us.
For the Apple listeners, we got to set something up, because you can only comment on Spotify. So we'll work on that. Like we said, we're hiring. So if you want to do that, let us know. And
social media manager.
Yeah, we need a content creator. So that's all we got for episode 9. Like we said, comment, follow, and spread the word, and we'll see you next time.